This is Francis Sideco with TIRIAS Research. I'm here with Robert Hallock, who's the VP and GM of the Technical Marketing Group.
That's right.
Perfect. We're doing a joint interview here with one of our colleagues, Dave Altavilla from Hot Hardware. So you might.
I'll be going back and forth a little bit.
You might hear a couple of different questions going on, just so you know that there's other people talking here. But
we're going to pepper Robert with all kinds of questions from both sides.
Let's go.
So Robert, maybe we could just start real quick with, you guys just announced Arrow Lake H and HX, right? You guys have definitely some specific target markets for that.
Sure.
Maybe you could just do a quick highlight on some of the architecture changes that you guys made, some of the technical things that you did to try to go after those technical areas.
So, at CES, we've hit, I guess I would call it a full 200 series stack. That effort started with the Lunar Lake, the 200V series, but as many reviewers and analysts alike pointed out, it's not the fastest multi-core option on the market, right? But it's designed for a very specific market that prizes portability, battery life, efficiency, but that is not every laptop customer. It's just not, right? So stepping up from there, you have laptops kind of in the range of 30 to 45 watts. That's our 200H series. And then above that, like 55 watts to like 200 is there, HX, the 200HX. So each CPU is kind of designed specifically for the things that each target market cares about. So if you have a Lunar Lake solution, super thin, crazy battery life, really good for office productivity. But the other kind of thin and light notebook looks more like a 200H system where you could have a discrete card, you have tons of USB ports, users will do more creative work on that. So we need more cores than what Lunar Lake has. So that's why 200H exists. And then finally for gaming, like the maximum amount of performance we can possibly stick in a notebook, that's what the HX product does. And the H design can't do that. The V design can't do that. So we kind of need all three to optimize the performance and the feature set for those notebook markets.
Got it. So Arrow Lake, H.
Yep.
For notebooks is up to 16 core.
Correct.
And then the HX is up to 24 core.
24, that's right.
Okay. Talk about graphics on board. What are we looking at there?
Okay, so for the H product, I think it's 8 GPU cores. Hopefully somebody will keep me honest, but I think it's 8. And the goal for the H product was to deliver performance that's about equal to Lunar Lake. You should see, like, at the same power, they have roughly the same performance from the graphics engine. But we know that the Lunar Lake graphics engine actually doesn't scale much over 30 watts. It's designed to be 30 watts and less, whereas the H design is designed for 30 watts and up. And those are a different set of design decisions, a different set of performance optimizations. And with H, you get really nice 1080p gaming. I call it UMA, but no discrete in the system. And it's very comparable to Lunar Lake. And then HX, it's 4 cores on the graphics, very small, really only to light up a display or handle cases where the discrete GPU is not running.
So obviously this is the H and HX. Arrow Lake is expanding your AI PC, AI PC reach. So maybe let's talk about the NPU now, and then also especially as both the H and HX have kind of gaming as a target, different performance levels. Is there anything specific on gaming that you guys have done with either the NPU or the GPU to enable generative AI support on games?
Well, generative AI for gaming is coming. All the software developers and publishers are sort of doing pathfinding or pioneering work in their studios to do that. We all know that there could be rights and permission entanglement, right? Generative AI is a prickly topic. And so when they make that jump, they want to do it safely. They want to make sure that the IP is properly licensed, properly attributed. We're doing kind of the same thing with a startup we're funding called Bria.ai, where when you generate an image, what % of the ingredients went in to create that image, the authors of the original photos get paid according to the percentage of their photo in the final generative AI. And that's the kind of technology that game developers are really waiting for. But I still think we're probably maybe 1 to 2 years off for generative AI in gaming. But still, super resolution technologies like XeSS, that requires AI accelerators in the GPU. It's not an easy job. On the Arrow Lake H products, we added XMX extensions inside the GPU to make XeSS faster, more performant, support frame generation, support low latency. So that's the kind of AI that's in gaming now, but that's going to keep growing, keep coming over the next 1 to 2 years.
Yeah, I saw that you guys have with the XMX extension, you support the new XeSS2.
That's right.
And I saw a dramatic difference in performance between, XeSS1 and 2 when 2's enabled with frame gen.
That's right.
Talking about what kind of performance lift for still a thin and light notebook with integrated graphics in like the average game title. What are you looking at?
For XeSS1 titles, there's about 150 of those. You get roughly 2x by turning that feature on above the native performance. And then with XeSS2, we see about 3x the native. And then so F124 is the XeSS2 title now. Marvel Rivals is coming. There's more on the way. We've had really good success getting developers to adopt this technology. So I feel really good about it. It looks great. There's some systems next door. I'm sorry if you're not at CES, you can't see them, but it really looks impressive in motion. It looks native, and it's super sharp, super clear, and you basically triple your frame rate.
So one of the things that I liked that you said at the keynote was the HX is a desktop in a laptop.
Pretty true,
right?
yeah.
And so, along those lines, especially either whether it's gaming, creativity, or just really that max performance top end, is that integration, or whether it's an integrated GPU or a discrete GPU. Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about what you've been seeing when it is an integrated GPU versus a discrete? When is that better? When is it, hey, you don't really need the discrete because they integrated so good already for those kind of things?
So a bit of inside baseball, in that 28 to 45 watt space, there's an emerging interest from laptop vendors in what they're calling a creator book, right? So it's kind of a higher wattage notebook, still thin, still pretty light, but it may or may not have discrete graphics inside because the CPU core performance, that multi-threaded performance is kind of what really matters for that market. And then the integrated graphics is still more than enough to handle video encode, a 4K and 8K codecs, and do that very, very quickly. So that creator book segment is emerging. Arrow Lake H is a good fit for that. We kind of had that market in mind when creating this kind of product. But for HX, I mean, the GPU is only there to turn on the display, really. It's going to be discrete all the time. You're almost never going to see a 200 HX system without a big GPU in that notebook. And, those...
Some discrete,
some green options, some green options.
Green options.
They're going to be great. Like, these are really nice systems. They look good. They're super fast. Can't say a lot yet, but they're coming.
Awesome.
Coming this quarter.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it. So, again, when are these shipping?
Okay, so Arrow Lake H with no discrete graphics, so those creator book type systems, kind of early, first half of Q1. For gaming notebooks with big discrete cards, second half of Q1.
Okay.
That's roughly what you can expect.
Perfect.
Coming soon.
It's coming soon.
Thanks, Robert.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Hallock from Intel at CES 2025. Thanks, buddy.
Anytime.